Alrighty then. So, Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. I've been meaning to stream a lot more of this. I said it already, but December was not a good month for me for streaming games, unfortunately. One of my New Year's resolutions is to stream more often. So hopefully I can, play this more consistently. Because I do love Mortal Kombat as a franchise. And I do love that I've got this collection as a physical cartridge with all the games on it. Yes, it's a physical Switch 2 cartridge, you can see the symbol there, and no, it is not a game key card, everything's on the cart. So yeah, good on the publisher. I forget who published this, but Warner Brothers, I guess, for doing that. Let me turn the volume up, I think it's a bit quiet. Oh, sorry, Atari was who published this. Warner Brothers owns the franchise, but Atari published the physical version. So last time I did Mortal Kombat 1 Arcade, and I briefly showed you the other versions of Mortal Kombat 1. I'm not going to be playing, I said this before, but I figure it bears repeating. I'm not going to be playing every version of the same game, because that's going to be too redundant, I feel. Some of the console and portable versions are interesting, but not interesting enough to do a full playthrough on stream. However, I did end up playing all the other versions to completion off the stream. I don't know if there's any way to prove that, but I definitely did finish the Game Boy one and all the other ones just in my own time. Let me turn the volume up a little bit. Actually, this is one of those games where the emulation's louder than the menu, isn't it? I should probably keep that down. So yeah, I don't know if there's anything that tells you, if there's an indicator that you completed it, if you've seen the credits. But I did indeed see the credits for this one, this one, this one, and this one. So now we're going to move on to Mortal Kombat 2. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4 different versions, which I will show you afterwards. Might even do some behind the scenes, documentary stuff, because there's a bunch of little documentary tidbits and whatnot in this collection. I was going to do that in the previous stream, but I didn't get around to it. Right, 1993, Mortal Kombat 2. The Mortal Kombat tournament leaves Earth behind for the mysterious Outworld, where the villainous Shao Kahn lies in wait. Both a refinement and an expansion of the original Mortal Kombat 2's gameplay, developed by the Phenomenon into a full-blown franchise. 5 all-new characters join the roster, plus the playable debuts of Reptile and Shang Tsung. A treasure trove of hidden secrets awaited the players who dug deep. Right, so first of all, game settings. Yeah, gotta have the violence and blood on. You can also activate the cabinet menu thing, that's pretty cool. Fixed AI difficulty. I'll see if it starts to get too bullshit, maybe I'll turn that on if I feel like it. Okay, here's a cool thing. So you can look at the flyers, the little posters advertising the arcade cabinets that were coming out. So yeah, look at this shit. I love marketing material like this being preserved. Yes, remember Midway? Yeah, neither do I. But in all seriousness, Midway were the guys that were behind the Mortal Kombat, phenomenon before Warner Brothers bought the company. And thus got the... They didn't buy the company. I think Midway went bankrupt and then Warner Brothers bought the IP. So when the franchise jumped ship, that's where they went, and they've been there since. So, yeah. Wait, why is Raiden's, overcoat thing, red, not blue? That's weird. Also, I just love the sheer enthusiasm in both Johnny Cage and Liu Kang's faces. He's kind of pogging a little bit, actually. I might actually include these in the thumbnail, these are funny. I will say, Scorpion looks pretty decent there. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I forget how you close that. Scorpion outfit looks pretty decent there. Also, Jax doesn't even have, the fucking bionic arm. They just put, a little bit of tinfoil around his wrist. That's funny. But yeah, let's just jump straight into it then, shall we? Let me quickly fix the visuals. It's doing that like weird, I forget what you call it, the filter thing. I prefer that to be off. Screen mode original. I think original is what I want, and I'll keep the border on. Just quickly check something here. I feel like there's one more thing. Yeah, this thing. There's also a bunch of additional settings. So you can basically, like, there's secret characters in this game. You can basically just toggle that if you feel like it. I'll check all that fun stuff after I beat the game once. 500 years ago, Shang Tsung was banished to the Earthrealm with the aid of Goro and was to unbalance the furies and dooms of the planet something. By seizing control of the Shaolin tournament, he tried to tip the scales of the order toward chaos. Only 7 warriors survived the battles. Oh, okay then. Facing execution for his failure and the apparent death of Goro, Shang convinces Shao Kahn to grant him a second chance. Shang Tsung's new plan is to lure his enemies to compete in the Outworld, where they will meet certain death by Shao Kahn himself. Let me turn the volume up a little bit. Yeah, there's that Mortal Kombat 2 theme. So yeah, Mortal Kombat 2 is a big step up from the first game. Like, they really iron out some of the weird jank that the first game had. Really solidified the vision of what Mortal Kombat could be as a fighter. Right, so here you go. This time, instead of just like 7 characters, you've got 12 characters to pick from. I'm gonna stick with Scorpion for now. I'm gonna jump around as we... Like, if I need to use an extra credit, I'll just jump around to other characters to try them.
Round 1, fight.
So yeah, here's the Deadpool. Not Deadpool as in the Marvel superhero, I mean Deadpool as in the stage, like that's what this place is called.
Scorpion wins. Round 2, fight.
By the way, I love the noises the guy's making this game. Ooh!
Well done. Finish him. Scorpion.
Oh, damn. Okay, I'm gonna make a quick change in the settings. I think you can have infinite time on the fatalities because that gives you so little time to do that. It's under additional settings, isn't it? Yeah, there it is. Right, turn that on. Resume. Because I actually want to see the fatalities, damn it. So wait, where's the sizzle takedown? Hang on. Huh. You know, I don't remember him having this move in this game. I think there's a reason you never see him do this in Mortal Kombat, like, 3 onwards. I want to see if I can get it once. Uh-oh. Aw, man. Oh, there's one fatality. There's a funny little Easter egg you can do with the spike fatality in that stage where I think if you hold down, like, continuously, like, the person that you knocked into the spikes, like, slips off and just hits the ground. Let me stick to Scorpion for now. I want to see if I can get at least one fatality off from him. Yeah, just block that then. Uh-oh. So yeah, like the first game and like any games coming after this, it's gonna have like bullshit with the AI reading your inputs and reacting accordingly. It's the nature of the beast with these kind of games. Unfortunately, I don't know how to counter them reading your inputs. Like, because there's a way to like influence the AI in certain ways so you can like trap them and then get an easy kill, but I don't really know the ins and outs of that, so I'm not going to pretend I do. Also, it seems like Scorpion's got an air throw. Unfortunately, he didn't jump into me, so... Oh god. Oh my god. I was trying to position myself, but it just wasn't happening. Well, hopefully I can beat this inside of an hour so we can check out the other versions as well as some behind-the-scenes content this game offers. Because I barely looked at the crypt the last time I played this, and I would like to dive into that today. Oh, okay. Unlucky.
Round 2, fight.
Oh shit, you can't do that when you're up against the wall.
Johnny Cage wins.
You know what my favourite thing is? When they command grab you when it's impossible for them to command grab you. For example, when you're leg sweeping and your hitbox is like half your size, when it's like physically impossible for them to like grab onto you in that state, but they'll do it anyway because fuck you. Oh, I see Noob Saibot back there. I don't know how you trigger the fight with him. Oh no. Ah!
Cage wins. Round 2, fight.
Yeah, this is not going well, chat. This is definitely not going well for me.
Finish him. Johnny Cage wins.
I'm only on the second fight and I'm already getting my ass handed to me. Sticking with Scorpion for now. Sticking with who I know.
Round 1, fight.
That's another thing I love about the AI. When you uppercut, and they quickly duck only to uppercut you back. Oh boy. No! There we go. Game actually gave me mercy that time so I could, like, get it. You gonna duck? You gonna block? You gonna do either of those two things? Yep.
Johnny Cage wins.
Oof.
Round 3, fight.
Right, I might have to change to the consistent difficulty setting. Because the AI is being incredibly bullshit this early on. Yeah, fuck you. Right, so there's one of the fatalities.
Victory. Fatality. Round 1, fight.
Whoop. Okay, so one thing I'm quickly realizing is that Scorpion's spear is fucking useless in this game. Like, most of the time I would be able to land a hit in the first game, but in the second game they'll just block it almost every single time. Like, you see that shit? They'll either block it or they'll just duck it. Or they'll jump over it. Oh, here we go. Right, considering that I'm having trouble this early on, I think it would be in my best interest if I set the... Wait, can I change that setting, or do I have to, like, start again? It's maybe one of those settings you have to apply before you start the game. I'll tell you what, let me quit the game real quick and let me change that. Yeah. So you can set it all the way up to 9. Let me try it at 3. See, here's the thing. So from what I understand, you can set this to easy, medium, or hard, but basically from how it's supposed to work, at least I think this is how it works, it starts off easy, but the more consistent wins you get, there's like an internal algorithm basically telling the game to get harder and harder as you go. At least until you lose a credit, then the difficulty starts going down again, but it's like... It's kind of like... How do I explain it? There's a word for it. Non-linear difficulty? I don't know what the term is. But yeah, I'm going to set it to... let's set it to 3, and we'll see what happens.
Scorpion. Round 1, fight.
What? Hey, I finally got the move to work. That fucking shitty move that's never in Mortal Kombat since.
Scorpion wins. Round 2, fight.
Ah. Yep, grab me while I'm leg sweeping. Oh, come on.
Wins. Round 3, fight. Finish.
Ooh.
Jax wins.
Oh, what? Alright. Game settings, 0 difficulty.
Scorpion.
Again, I would like to finish this sometime in 2026, so... Sometimes you just forget how bullshit the AI can be and like how manipulative the game can be, just to tip the scales in their favour. Like, that can be a problem with these old arcade games. Again, they're designed to pump quarters out of the person playing it, so it makes sense, but at the same time, it's kind of dumb. At least with the console versions, they can be bullshit, yes, but they're a bit more controlled in that regard. It's more so about artificial difficulty than, like, you know, pumping quarters out you, because you can't pump quarters out of somebody playing a console game. At least not yet. I mean, we do have microtransactions. I think we're kind of on our way there. Better not give these gaming conglomerates any ideas. Introducing the Switch 2 Pro, now with a quarter slot.
Finish him.
Let's do the... Right, hang on. A, B, down plus Y. There we go. Oh, what?
Round 1, fight.
I like the noises they make in this game. Like, sometimes when you uppercut them, they go, ow! Then when you leg sweep them, they go, bleh? There we go. Now this feels a bit more playable. Like, I'm not running into as much bullshit.
Finish him.
Okay, so sweep distance. There we go. There's a classic.
Scorpion wins.
Yep, this is the game that introduces the Toasty guy. I forget who that actually is. It might be John Tobias. But yeah, the Toasty guy was introduced in this game, so you might see him pop up if I uppercut a couple times. What? Okay. Yeah, let me just do some uppercuts, see if I can get it to happen.
Round 2, fight. Outstanding. Finish him.
Oh. Okay, so the other... I was going for the Toasty version, but turns out I just did this one again.
Fatality. Round 1, fight.
Oh boy.
Liu Kang wins.
Note to self, don't use the spear. The spear doesn't fucking work. Ah, there's the bicycle kick. By the way, fucking Liu Kang's, like, sound effects in Mortal Kombat 4 are fucking hilarious. I mean, they're kind of hilarious here, but there's, like, a whole, like, if you look around on YouTube, there's, like, a whole archive of, like, all the voice bites in, like, Mortal Kombat 4. And it, like, groups them by character, so there's just, like, one segment of that video that just has, like, all the Liu Kang stuff, and it's just funny to listen to. And there's, like, one take, which I don't know if it's in the game, I've never heard it in the game, but there's, like, one take of them doing, like, a bicycle kick thing, but it sounds like that they just kind of trail off, and, like, they're about to run out of breath because they're, like, doing it for so fucking long. It's really funny. It sounds like they're trailing off and they're a little bit out of breath, but they're also starting to, like, internally laugh because it's just so stupid. Let's try Raiden. Managed to get a good bit into the game there, so we'll change characters.
One fight.
There we go. I love that fucking explosion sound. Oh.
Finish him.
Huh. I don't know what it means by holding Y and then letting go of Y. Maybe you have to hold Y, like, before you approach him? Wait, why is it telling me a control that I can only do it in versus mode? Oh.
Reptile
Damn.
wins. Round 2, fight.
So yeah, here's Reptile. That one secret character from the first game, he's been upgraded to one of the playable characters now.
Raiden. Flawless.
And in his place, there are 3 hidden characters in this game.
Fight.
One of them is Noob Saibot, one of them is Smoke, and I think the third one is Melina or Katana, I forget which one. Oh fuck.
Finish him.
Let's try this again. Right, hold Y, let go of Y. No? I don't know what this means. No? Okay, that one I got to work. The one where you hold Y and release it, I can't seem to get that one to work. The other one I got to work fine.
Round 1, fight.
Right, so here's Baraka. Baraka's a pretty cool Mortal Kombat character, I like him. There's the toasty guy. I'm gonna quickly look something up regarding the toasty guy. Hang on a second. Right, let's see, Mortal Kombat 2 Arcade. Press down plus start. But, oh wait, that's the 32X version, right, hang on. I'm looking for the arcade version specifically. Okay, not that one. Not that one. Okay, so it can only be done on the portal stage. I think that's the one with like the big portal in the background and like the floating platforms. So yeah, you have to wait for the toasty guy to show up during that to do it. So Dan Forden, who is the toasty guy, must appear at the bottom of the screen and yell toasty. Down and start must be held at the same time right after you see Dan Forden. Must meet all these requirements and then you will fight the secret character. Okay. Well, if I happen to be on that stage, I'm going to try that. But you know, the stars need to align for that. And I need to remember to hold down and start. Oh! I don't get the instruction for the fatality too. You know what? Just do that instead.
Raiden wins.
Yeah, fatality 2's instruction is not super clear. Like, I can do fatality 1, but fatality 2 seems to elude me.
Round 1.
Oh, here's the portal. Right, so down plus start when I see Dan Forden. Damn.
Wins. Round 2, fight. Outstanding.
Oof.
Wins. Round 3, fight.
Oh! Nah, ain't happening.
Finish him.
Nope, don't understand that one at all.
Round 1, fight.
Oh, fuck.
Kitana wins.
Okay, so it's not Katana or Melina, sorry. It's Jade, who is the hidden character in this game. The green one.
Raiden. Round 3, fight.
Oh.
Finish her.
Aw.
Raiden. Round 1, fight.
Just gonna quickly read something before I continue. Okay.
Round 2, fight.
Sadly, the Dan Forden thing no longer applies.
Finish her. Raiden.
Oh, what? I don't know what triggers that. Like, that just happens randomly when you, like, get them in the dead pool.
Round 1, fight. Well
Blech. You know, I will say the game seems a little bit too easy now, but you know what? After all the bullshit that I saw in the normal difficulty, I don't even care.
Fight.
I bet when I get to Kintaro, that's where it starts to get a little bit bullshit again, so I'm fine with this. Well, this isn't like an endurance thing, like the first game, or am I mistaken? Oh!
Finish him.
Scorpion sounding French.
Fatality.
Seven wins in a row. You have mastered Mortal Kombat 2. This is random. Oh. I pressed the wrong button there.
Round 1, fight.
Right, I'm gonna try going for one of the secret character fights. You have to win round 1 using only the D-pad and low kicks. Fucking position yourself correctly. There we go. The other round can be won normally. Ah, there we go. Okay, so you don't need to win the other round. You just need to win one round like that. Congratulations! You have found the passage from the Outworld to the Earth Realm. Now you must battle with an undiscovered warrior from Mortal Kombat 1. Prepare yourself to return to Goro's lair. And now we fight Jade. So yeah, this is basically the female scorpion, or the female reptile, I should say. Just a green palette swap of like the other female ninjas in this game. Right, there's one round. So your reward for this isn't to unlock them, you basically just have, like, bragging rights and, like, you get a ton of points. But you probably notice she moves much faster and has, like, I think she has all the moves of both Katana and Melina in her arsenal. Ugh. There we go. It's cool that they included the... Oh, I guess we're going back to this then. Let's do Baraka. It is cool that they included the Goro's lair just as a stage for that, like, secret. Right, time for Shang Tsung. Oh man.
Shang Tsung wins.
I like how short he looks when he's lying down, like Baraka. Ah, there's the move I like. The Blade Fury.
Round 3, fight.
Appropriate name for a move like this. Yeah, walk right into that. Nice.
Baraka wins.
Baraka
Fatality.
wins. Alright, time for Kintaro, the fucking bullshit. Like, this game's equivalent of Goro, basically. Oh, wow. I didn't think that was going to connect like that. Chat, I think I found the bullshit way to win. Oh, fuck, didn't trigger. Oh my god.
Wins.
The perfect counter to that bullshit stomp attack. Also, one cool detail about this game is that they have like some of the characters from the first game kidnapped here. So you got Kano on that side, and on the other side you got Sonya. So yeah, these are the Mortal Kombat 1 characters that didn't make the cut for Mortal Kombat 2. I go.
Round 3, fight.
There we go.
Baraka wins.
Man, I am just breezing through this at this difficulty, but you know what? I am perfectly fine with that.
You are nothing.
Right, so here's the big boss man himself, Shao Kahn. I forget how he is in Mortal Kombat 2, but in Mortal Kombat 3 he's a fucking nightmare to fight. Damn, he talks a big game, but he's not really that good.
Wrath of Shao Kahn.
Again, I set the difficulty to 0, so that kind of doesn't surprise me.
I rule this world. You are nothing.
I remember when Mortal Kombat 9 first came out. Like like Shao Kahn's difficulty in that was extremely inconsistent. Like a lot of times it was like ultra bullshit. But then there was just some like attempts where he just did nothing but taunting and basically gave you the match. Shao Kahn's rule is over. Once again, you are the supreme Mortal Kombat warrior. Where is Sonya? Known for his unpredictable actions and wild fits of anger, Baraka goes on a rampage. After defeating the Earth Warriors, he attacks Shang Tsung, Kintaro, and finally Shao Kahn himself. After defeating Shao Kahn, Baraka's race of mutants arise from the wastelands and rebel against what is left of Shao Kahn's army. They eventually win and the Outworld becomes under the rule of King Baraka. That's a really cool visual there. So yeah, Baraka is part of a race of like mutants called Tarkatans, which I believe Shao Kahn is supposed to be one of them too. That's why he's got the mask on his head, to basically hide his identity. I mean, also to, you know, show his supremacy, but it's partially to hide that fact. So yeah, that was Mortal Kombat 2. I'm going to show you some of the extra bonus fights that I couldn't do during a normal playthrough, because the requirements are like kind of bullshit. Like, one of them I tried to do, the one with the Dan Forden face appearing, like the toasty guy. The other one, you have to do a 2-player match and win 50 matches in a row. I am not doing that on stream, that seems bullshit. Wait, Matt Booty? Wait, the Microsoft Matt Booty? Wait, was that him? The internet guys? Wait, what? Good credit there. Special thanks to the internet guys, everyone. Ed Boon, John Tobias, Dan Forden, the Toasty Guy, and Tony Goski, who I've never heard of before. But yeah, Ed Boon is basically the director, and he's still around to this day. Okay, that's funny. They include an advertisement for another Midway game. Game over? 3. Nice little teasing for a potential sequel, which was probably already in pre-production when this game came out. Right, so here's what I'm going to do. Let's go to the additional settings. So we've got a bunch of stuff we can check out here. So there's a secret Easter egg called Video Tennis. So let me just resume for a second. Do I have to start a fight for it to appear, or do I have to, like, reset the cabinet?
Round 1, fight.
Okay, I think I need to reset game. Wait.
Scorpion. Round 1, fight.
Let me look at the informations again. Oh, it's in a 2-player game only, right. It's basically just Pong, if you're wondering. I can't show that right now because I don't have a second controller handy. But what we can do is we can activate this. We can... Wait, how do I do that again?
Okay.
I should really just read the description to figure out how to, like, do that. After player 1 presses the block button during the game's attract mode or title screen, they will access the game's secret EGB menu. Okay. Ah, here it is. So yeah, we can do some cool stuff here, like some behind the scenes, like things that the owner of the cabinet can only do normally. So if I go into game audit, it's like, here's the... It basically logs this cabinet's, like, entire, like, playthrough statistics, so... That's kind of cool that it does that shit. I like when they keep track of that sort of stuff. So volume adjust. That's cool, you can do that. Hello. Hello to Mum, Michelle. I'm not reading all of that. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of names here. I don't know why you would include this, but it's there. Oh, shit, did I? You can enter initials, or you can look at the character endings. Why don't we look at the endings? Let's do Kung Lao. A former Shaolin monk alongside Liu Kang, Lao also grieves the loss of their Shaolin brothers. He realizes that the ultimate goal, the ultimate fate lies within the dark realm of the Outworld. He defeats the Outworld opponents until he emerges as the Supreme Champion. With his strength and spirit in complete alignment, he finally avenges the death of his great ancestor, although his greatest challenges lie ahead. Sorry if I'm not very good at reading stuff when I've got, like, a very well-defined time limit, because the game, like, moves the screen at its own pace. Okay, reset game. I don't know if I'll look at all of these endings, but we can check out a couple of them. Let's check out... where is he? Let's check Johnny Cage's ending. This one should be funny, right? After disappearing from the set of his latest movie, Cage finally resurfaces. He used all of his knowledge and experiences as a fighter to end the Outworld menace. Now heralded as the true hero, Cage receives the respect he rightfully deserves. He also gets his inspiration for the sequel to his blockbuster movie Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat 2 is released and quickly becomes the greatest motion picture movie of all time. Cage realizes that MK3 is inevitable. That's funny. Oh yeah, the two people in the background. Like, for a long time, people, like, theorized that the person on fire was, like, a secret character, which they ended up putting in, like, I think Mortal Kombat Deception or Mortal Kombat Armageddon, like one of the GameCube ones. I forget what they called him, though. I forget who the other person's supposed to be. Maybe he was also, like, someone they added later? But I just remember the guy being half on fire, and he ended up being, like, a playable character down the line. Okay, let's do another one. You know, considering I play as Scorpion almost all the time, let's see Scorpion's ending. Upon learning of Sub-Zero's reappearance, Scorpion enters Shao Kahn's tournament. He witnesses Sub-Zero spare the life of an opponent. He realizes this is not the same Sub-Zero who murdered him for so long ago. He lets the... Okay. With the defeat of Shao Kahn, Scorpion discovers a whole new purpose of existence. He becomes the guardian of the new Sub-Zero to atone for murdering his older brother, and in preparation for the third tournament. Yeah, so the Scorpion and the Sub-Zero in this game is not Bihan, who is the one in the first game. Because the one in the first game gets canonically murdered by Scorpion. Because Scorpion was led to believe that Bihan murdered his entire family, when in actuality it was the work of, I think, Quan Chi. Like, he was the one that orchestrated that in the background. But this is all lore that you don't learn about fully until, like, Mortal Kombat 4, I think. Or, like, the spin-off before it. I forget what it's called. Mythology Sub-Zero. But yeah, MK4 also, like, explains that part of the lore. Right. We'll do a couple more. Right, let's see. So, fucking Raiden had a really funny ending in the first game. Let's see what it's like in this game. Familiar with Shang Tsung's lies and Shao Kahn's brutality, Raiden accepts their challenge to compete in an Outworld tournament. He is well aware of their scheme to unbalance the Furies and invade the Earthrealm. Raiden vows to use all of his might to enter their treachery. Winning the tournament, Raiden destroys Shao Kahn and all of his minions. He also destroys the dimensional gates, which would have been used as a passageway to the Earthrealm. Yeah, not as funny as the first one. Like, I love the first one where it's like he wins the tournament and he starts, like, forming his own tournament with, like, all the different gods. And it's like, oh, now it's time for the destruction of Earth. Have a nice day. But yeah, let's do another one. Let's see, character endings. We haven't seen Liu Kang yet. With his Shaolin Temple in ruins, Liu Kang's journey into the Outworld enters Shao Kahn's tournament and unleashes a fury that does not end until the defeat of Shao Kahn. Liu Kang then returns to the seclusion of his Shaolin Temple. He pays his respect to the Lost Brothers and finally realizes that the events of which had taken place were all fulfillment of his destiny. So yeah, I think Liu Kang is supposed to be like the main protagonist, like the main, like the primary good guy of like the Mortal Kombat story. You know what's really funny about Liu Kang? Like, his, like, basically, like, various characters have their own motivations for, like, fighting and, like, what their ultimate end goal is. But Liu Kang is, like, you know, meant to be the typical good guy. Like, he does it for justice and whatnot, and he wants to do what is right by the universe. But I think Mortal Kombat, what was it called? Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance on the GameCube, like the first of the GameCube games. They basically have an FMV opening showing the story of the game. And I kid you not, fucking Shang Tsung and Quan Chi basically murder him in the FMV. And he's just not in the game at all. Like, you cannot play as him. But then they do something even fucking crazier than that. Like, once they get to Armageddon, like the third GameCube game, they basically bring him back, but as a fucking reanimated zombie. Like, I wish these games were in this collection, but I could play them at some point. Like, it wouldn't be difficult to like emulate those, honestly. But yeah, the fucking GameCube games are like really cool and really fucking weird, but really cool. Like, they had some cool stuff in them. Definitely experimented a lot with those ones. Right, so I'm not going to check all the endings, but I'll do one more. What one have I not seen that seems interesting? Let's do Shang Tsung's ending. Also, hey there, Drago700. Shang Tsung not only turns against and defeats both Kintaro and Shao Kahn, he also takes over the role of the Outworld. With Shao Kahn's armies at his command, he finally unbalances the Furies and weakens the dimensional gates between the Outworld and the Earthrealm. Along with his elite group of sorcerers, he uses this weakness to march a never-ending horde of demons into the Earth and doom its inhabitants to eternal darkness. Have a nice day! Okay, there it is. So in this game, he's the one that does that, but for Outworld, not Earth. Or Earthrealm. I didn't fucking know that one. Like, I knew about the Raiden one, but I didn't know about the Shang Tsung one, so that's hilarious. Right, I'll tell you what, why don't we check out some of the other versions real quick? We'll just have a quick look at each one. So, we got Sega Genesis. Okay, this one surprises me. This is the Sega 32X, the add-on for the Sega Genesis. I didn't know there was a version of this, let alone it was in the collection. We also have Super Nintendo, and we got the Game Boy one. Enable test modes. Yeah, why not? Let's turn that on. Am I the only one that's watching on YouTube? You might very well be. The YouTube side doesn't get as many views as the Twitch side. I know I've said this before, but I do like when these like collections like preserve the manuals and stuff. I like this kind of stuff being like here. Don't you miss when video game manuals did this? Like when they had the space at the end for writing down notes? Now let's see, screen options. Get rid of that. Filter please. Put it to full. Border to television. Yep. Oh, there is someone else in the YouTube chat. The collection only goes up to the GBA 1. And those are the only emulators Digital Clips had from their previous collections. Yeah, I kind of figured that was the case. You know, at some point I could stream the later games. Like, there's one Mortal Kombat game I've never played that I've been meaning to. It's called Shaolin Monks, and it's on PlayStation 2. Apparently that's a really good, like, spin-off. I wouldn't mind streaming the GameCube ones at some point. Test modes. Right, let's quickly check the test modes. One hit kills player 1, one hit kills... No damage to player 1. Interesting. Replay. Background off. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know what any of this means. Battle plan 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh wow, there's a lot of battle plans. Wait, where's battle plan 12? The fuck? Also, soak test. I don't know what that means. Fatalities, friendships, babalities. Oh, nasty. I don't know what any of this means exactly, but... You know what? Hang on. Yeah, that's fine. Right. Extra controls. 6-button controller. That's good. I'll keep that to very easy for now. Done. Start.
Fight!
Oh.
Fight!
Okay, what the fuck? Okay, so for some reason I set it to a demo. Hang on, test mode. More. Maybe it's Soak Test that did that? I don't know what Oh Nasty means. Like, is the Oh Nasty the one that's doing that? Nope, it was the Soak Test. On-screen move list. Resume. Oh yeah, I think I have that collection, the Yu-Gi-Oh collection.
Fight.
Oh. So I've never really spent any time playing the Genesis version of Mortal Kombat 2 as opposed to Mortal Kombat 1 and 3. But it seems fairly competent. Also, I believe this was the first, like, Mortal Kombat 2 was, like, the first game where all the console versions had blood enabled by default. Because in the first game, it was in the first Genesis game, but you had to, like, enable it through cheats. In the Super Nintendo version, they replaced the blood with sweat. But from MK2 onward, like, they had the ratings boards, so, like, you know, the ESRB. So it was like, yeah, you can put the blood in this, as long as you up the rating.
Finish him.
Once again, I don't know how to do that. Additional settings. I don't know. Oh, that's how you rewind it. 1 second. Gonna try that again. Sorry, it didn't give me enough time to process the move.
Finish him.
Oh. Nice. Okay, let's go back. I'm gonna try one of the other ones.
Finish him.
Aw. Wrong button, by the way. I was doing X, not Y.
Finish him.
Huh?
Finish him.
That doesn't seem to be working. I'm doing it from sweep distance.
Outstanding.
Fuck.
Outstanding. Finish him.
Actually, I'm gonna try something. No, never mind. Right, okay, so... Let me just figure something out here. So... You can basically face the other characters. I forgot to do that in the arcade version, but we can do it here, I guess. So, face Noob Saibot. Resume. Right, so let me just beat Johnny Cage real quick, and then we can do that. Unless... Do you think it will retroactively apply it to this one? Alright, okay, it worked.
Fight.
Right, so here's Noob Saibot. Basically just another scorpion clone, except that they just coloured them all black. He's just a silhouette shadow thing. Oh crap. No. Right, let me see what the 32X version is like, because I've never seen this one before. But yeah, for those that don't know, 32X was like kind of an add-on for the Sega Genesis, where it's like this weird extra bit of plastic you put inside the cartridge slot. And I think the idea was to like make games run at an enhanced 32-bit, but it only worked with like certain games. Like you had to buy a separate game entirely for it to work with it. It was kind of a weird idea. But yeah, let me go into additional settings. Not that. Screen settings, sorry, is what I'm looking for. Full. On that off. Seems the same visually. Okay, but there's a bit more color compared to the Genesis one I just played. But it mostly seems the same. I'm not really seeing a major difference. Oh! So I'm just briefly checking the other versions, just for comparison's sake. I'm not doing full playthroughs of each of these, not on stream anyway. Whoop, okay. Just turning that on. Oh. Guess it doesn't work there.
Finish him.
Ah. There we go.
Wins. Fatality.
Oh, what? Right, well, you get the idea with that. It's just the Genesis version with slightly more colors, and maybe like they fixed up the HUD a little bit, but it is mostly the same. Right, let's quickly check out the Super Nintendo version. 4x4 match. Huh. Infinite credits, sure. Additional settings. So yeah, that doesn't seem to face character. Face the selected character in the next encounter. Oh, okay, so you can just jump to any of these then. Interesting. Extra fatality time. Going from 5 seconds to 15 seconds. I will say 5 seconds seems plentiful. Like, it's not like fucking 2 seconds like in the arcade one. But 15 seconds is even better. Super damage attacks deal more damage. I'll tell you what, we haven't checked out... I don't think we checked smoke yet. Let's face smoke. Actually, let's do a regular fight first, and then we'll check smoke. Wait. Yeah. We just do a regular fight first, and then we'll do that. I don't know if the SNES port is any good. I would think so. That is a very professional looking introduction. Start options. just set it to easy.
Round 1. Fight.
So yeah, visually it looks pretty good. It's a pretty decent approximation of the arcade one.
Come here!
Patty still says come here in this game, not get over here.
Scorpion wins.
I thought Mortal Kombat 2 was the first game to do that, but I guess not. I mean, Mortal Kombat 1 on Genesis does it.
Fight.
I think by the time we get to Mortal Kombat 3, it's consistently get over here.
Superb.
Also, Raiden's name is misspelled still.
Finish it.
Shit. Fuck. I was trying to do Fatality too, but I didn't know how to get it to work. Let's go for this one instead. There it is. Yeah.
Scorpion wins.
Right, additional settings, base character. Right, we haven't seen Smoke yet, so let's do that one.
Fatality.
Fatality. Oh hey, look at that, it just jumped straight to it.
Round 1. Fight.
So yeah, yet another ninja palette swap. I forget what his gimmick is, I think he just moves faster.
Smoke
Just-
wins.
Smoke. Smoke.
Round 2. Fight.
What's the matter, lassie? You smoking yet?
Come here!
I don't know why I don't know why that one fucking Family Guy joke lives in my head rent-free, but it does. It's just funny to me. So can I fight him again if I leave that setting on? Yeah, looks like you can. Normally if you lose to him, you just move on to the next fight, but
Fight.
if you keep that setting on, then no, you can just keep trying. Oh god, you see how fast he was going there? When all else fails, jump kick. Ah,
Smoke wins.
smoke. I like the way the announcer says smoke.
Round 2. Fight.
Damn, couldn't even get a single hit on him.
Wins.
Smoke. Was there anything else I can do in here fun? And I can just jump straight to the final boss if I really wanted to. Super damage. Let's do that. So wait, does super damage also apply to me, or only like player against the CPU? Oh wow. Okay, so only to the opponent.
Come here!
Oh, he does say come here, okay. So he says both come here and get over here.
You will die, mortal.
Wait, never mind. Sorry, I had a brain fart. It's the other one that he's supposed to say. Oh, oh,
You. No.
there we go.
No.
No, no, no. It's just the same soundbite, just slightly pitched upward every time he says it. Yes, let me show you all the levels again. So I wonder if the SNES ending is any different from the arcade version. Upon learning of Sub-Zero's reappearance, Scorpion enters the Shao Kahn's tournament as he witnesses Sub-Zero spare an opponent and realizes, okay, yeah, this is all the same stuff as before. Also, Scorpion looks a little bit fucking weird there. Like his eyes, did you see his eyes there? Wait a minute. Let me just go back just enough so I can show you that. Like, check this out. Doesn't look like he's got eyes so much as he's got, like, goggles on or something. I don't know. Yep, so it's just the same text as before. Different visuals on the, you know, the graphics and whatnot, but in terms of the ending text, it's unchanged. Well, there's those two guys in the background. Let's see, was there anything else I wanted to do? I think that's everything I can do here. Yeah, there's always 4x4 match, but you need 2 players to do that, so I can't show that. Let's have a quick look at the manual, see if it's any... Oh, okay, so they've got a screenshot from the fucking movie for some reason. This was from the first Mortal Kombat movie, right? Okay, I kind of like that. Well, they kind of like stitch screenshots together to show the entire battle plan. That's neat. I don't see any illustrations, though. I was kind of hoping to see, like, comic book illustrations in here, but it doesn't seem like they show any of that stuff on the SNES one. Kind of unfortunate. Also, Bracket looks like he's just got one giant buck tooth. You know, like, you see that there on that picture? And then there's the notes at the end. Wait, what's this? Available in December while supplies last. Mortal Kombat, watch for supersized 12-inch action figures too. Hang on a second, I need to zoom in on this. Right, so there's an advertisement at the end here. Kick into action with Mortal Kombat figures and accessories. If you think you're tough enough to hit the next level in hand-to-hand combat, check out Johnny Cage, trademark. Liu Kang, trademark. Raiden, trademark. Sub-Zero, trademark. Action figures with shooting weapons and ninja action moves. Fight back with Kanos, trademark. Combat Cycle, trademark. And Reptiles, trademark. Dragon MK1, trademark. Attack Boat. Wait, there's no trademark for that one. Each with their own shooting launcher. Oh, it's a Hasbro toy advertisement. Okay, I didn't know Hasbro was involved with MK toys. Well, there you go then. Yeah, you know what I find funny about this ad? They make it sound like it's the best thing ever, and yet there's no pictures to show what these products even look like. Like, they know they're coming out in December, but where's the fucking visuals? Like, show me them. That's the last page, by the way. Right, so normally this is the part of the stream where I would say you want to see some real shit by playing the Game Boy version. But I'm actually I'm gonna play defense for this game. This is actually not terrible, to be honest with you. Like, it's nowhere near as bad as the first one. Like, this is actually somewhat decent for the, you know, considering the limitations of the hardware. Like, they actually tried with this one. So I'm going to show you this a little bit, and you'll see what I mean. Like, it's still not great overall, but for a handheld attempt, they did a lot better with it. Right, so while it features black and white graphics and just 8 of the 12 original combatants, Mortal Kombat 2 for the Game Boy was a remarkably fast, responsive version of the game considering the limitations of the hardware. There you go. Like, I had this game growing up, so I can remember this one being somewhat decent. Let's keep it to black and white for now. Infinite credits. Okay, screen settings. Ooh, set that to off. Color palette, let's set it to that, please. Right, so I'll show you what I mean about Mortal Kombat 2 on Game Boy not being the worst thing ever. Bit loud though. Let me turn that down. At least I can tell that this is Scorpion because of the lack of pupils. And this is Sub-Zero. So you can tell the presentation's already a little bit better than the first Game Boy game. But yeah, look at how responsive this is compared to the first one. I mean, you can't really tell the responsiveness because you're not playing the game, but trust me, it's way better. There's not like a fucking 10-year delay between when you press a button and when it happens. Like, as soon as you press something, something happens. And you know what? For a handheld version during this era, like in early 90s, I think it's fairly competent. Like, I'm gonna be honest about that. I don't think it's terrible. Like, if this was your only way to play Mortal Kombat 2, then fair enough. It's better than Mortal Kombat 1's Game Boy port. Let's see if I can get one fatality to work. But yeah, I played this Game Boy version a lot as a kid. Like, I was one of those kids that didn't have a home console port of Mortal Kombat 2. Instead, I had this. Like, I had the Genesis version of Mortal Kombat 1. I had the Genesis version of Mortal Kombat 3, but I never got 2 on console. So I played this instead for the second one. Right, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Fatality. Let's see, additional settings. You can face 2 of the 3 secret characters in this game, so Jade or Smoke. Smoke. Yeah, let's do that. So normally you're supposed to wait for the TOASTY head to appear and then you like do down plus start or something like that on the Game Boy version. But you can just press start using that little cheat thing there and it just like jumps you here instantly. Also, I like how Goro's lair is just nothing but bricks now. Like, there's no tunnels or anything. No archways, no, like, other background detail. It's just, oops, all bricks. Ugh. Oh my god. Well, the AI difficulty doesn't change when you fight Smoke, that's for goddamn sure. Gotta try something here. Gotta turn that on real quick. I guess I need to win one more fight. So if you're wondering how does this game get around the 2-button limitation, I think it depends on the direction you're holding. So if you hold that down while pressing, or diagonal down, it becomes like a low kick, and if you... I forget how it works exactly. It's something like that. I don't feel like looking in the manual to figure that out right now. just going to quickly check to make sure I got this correct. So, after the conclusion of the next match, okay. Oh. Nice. Not how to do the brutality. Right, I'll show you the Jade fight, and then we're going to check out some of the behind-the-scenes stuff. Right, here's Jade. But of course you wouldn't be able to tell because of the lack of colours. Up. Of course, when you fight the secret character, they ramp the difficulty up. Like, they don't keep it to the normal difficulty that you set. So if you play it on easy, they set it to hard. Ah yes, I love when they duck at the last moment. Yeah. So yeah, it's honestly not bad. Like, again, you could do worse than this, and you could certainly do better, but I will say, of the Game Boy versions of the trilogy, this is the best of the three. Like, I think Mortal Kombat 3 on Game Boy is not as good as this. And Mortal Kombat 1 is easily the worst of the three. But yeah, I remember playing this one a lot, and I had good memories of it as a child. Alright, that is all the MK2 stuff. MK3 will be next time, but before we stop, we're going to check out the crypt. So, let's see. Documentary, lore. Did we check the lore? Okay, so this like explains some of the story and whatnot. I'm not going to look into that right now. Have you heard of this game Mortal Kombat? From passion project to global sensation, Mortal Kombat has shocked, inspired and thrilled players for more than 3 decades. Right, let's watch the actual video now. Let me get my PNG ready. Right, so here's the first of the many documentaries that this game includes.
Hey, have you heard of this game, Mortal Kombat?
What is Mortal Kombat?
It's like Street Fighter, but you could fucking kill people.
Whoa!
Whoa! Also, were those YouTubers,
The
or was
first
those
game
like
truly
people
was
from the
like an
development
expression
team?
of who we
Oh,
were
there's
at the
there's
time,
Ed
the
Boon.
stuff that we consumed growing up as kids, and we just threw it all into the game.
You know, there was no template to how to make the games. There was no instructions, just winging it.
And I'd never done this.
It's
before.
cool that
I didn't
Ed Boon
know
is still
how to do
around
it.
directing
We
the
were just
MK
kinda making it
series.
up as we went along.
We were just a bunch of knuckleheads doing whatever we wanted and we were happy.
Ah, yes, there's the classic commercial.
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat!
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat! It is simultaneously exactly like and nothing like Street Fighter.
Kano.
Liu Kang,
Rated Johnny Cage.
Scorpion.
Sub-Zero.
Sonya.
Round 1. Fight!
You had to guess like the moves and how to figure out the codes.
Remember having a cheat sheet.
Hit block and mash the buttons, I don't know.
Also, my PNG is broken. I just realized that, chat.
Fatality.
Can I pause this? So I just looked over to the OBS preview and noticed that my PNG is not animating for some reason. Wait, has it been doing that this entire time and I just did not realize? No, it's fine with this one. It's just this one is... What the fuck? Wait, why is it doing that? The hell? Okay, give me a second to fix this. I'm sorry to halt the flow of the entire fucking thing. But I am what you might call a perfectionist. I want things to look good, so let me try and correct this real quick before we continue. Sorry about that. Don't know what's going on here, but I think I know how to fix it. Just need to... Oh, come on. Right, hang on a second. Running into some difficulties here, but I think I can correct this. Right, let's see. Settings. How do you fix this? Oh boy. This might be trouble. Let me try and quickly fix this up. I'm sorry about this, everyone. It just, you know, there's something funny about like when you're trying to stream and like you think everything is going well, but there just has to be that one thing that goes horribly, horribly wrong. But no, I think we're good now. Let me just test this with the other ones. Test. Test. Okay, yeah, I had no idea my PNG was doing that this entire fucking time. I'm sorry about that. Right, let's just continue.
You know, ripped out a heart, held
Jesus.
it up, blood dripping from it.
It's the first time I've seen blood in a video game.
Blood flying out of these people's heads.
My parents were very worried about the violence.
I don't want you guys playing this. It sounds bad.
Finish him.
The game narrator instructs the player to finish his opponent.
Oh my
Yes.
God, I didn't know that you could do
The
that.
controversy.
Game after game after game.
The catalyst for the ESRB, by the way.
How big it has all become.
It was, is, and always
Okay, I want to go look at that again. Hang on.
will be. It was.
It has all become. How big it's amazing. I could have never
Let
imagined.
me try and pause on there. So this is one of the corridors of NetherRealm Studios. This is kind of cool. Like, look at all this. Like, all the different games, all the different, like, merchandise. Like, all the games are on the right, the merchandise is on the left. I can see, unfortunately, there's Pop Funko figures, but there's some other cool stuff there. I see, like, figurines and stuff. Like, look at this. That's pretty fucking cool. Just like the action toy still in the bubble wrapping. Like, I like seeing this kind of stuff. You can tell that these people care about the franchise when they've got like a corridor just dedicated to this stuff. It's like an arcade cabinet, not arcade cabinet. What do you call it? An arcade controller, an arcade stick. Yes, here's some of the GameCube, PlayStation 2 games in the middle, like Deception and Armageddon and whatnot. There's the Xbox 360 games, PS3, PS4. So all the stuff up here is like the older stuff. So there's like the SNES, Genesis, Game Boy, PlayStation. Yep, it all seems to be here. That's awesome.
How big imagined. How big.
Yep, there's another shot of it. You can see it better there. So if I zoom in now, yep. I think that big box there is like PC DOS because that was on DOS at one point, and PC games back then wasn't just something you could buy digitally on Steam. Like, you had to buy games physically, but they came in, like, humongous cardboard boxes for some reason. I don't know why. That's just what it was like back then. Like, you get this, like, fucking humongous, like, gargantuan cardboard box. You open it up, it's got, like, a manual and a fucking CD, and that's it. Or a floppy disk, and it's like, why do you need a giant box to hold this? I mean, it looks cool, but it takes up so much shelf space because of how big it is. Like, look at it compared to the SNES box next to it. It's like more than double the size. Oh, they've got the Mortal Kombat movie here as well. That's cool. 32X. I think that's the PC version of Mortal Kombat 3 on the far end there. Yeah, this is neat. I do like seeing stuff like this. Yes, Mortal Kombat Armageddon, I think, or Deception. I forget what that one's called. The Game Boy Advance one. Is there a need to explain Steam wasn't a thing? You make me feel ancient. I mean, times are moving on. Like, Steam has been around for, I think, 2 decades at this point. Maybe a little bit more than that. But yeah, there used to be a time when Steam wasn't, like, you know, the convenient platform it was. Like, you wanted to buy a PC game, you had to go to a retailer and buy a giant box. I remember those days.
It has all become.
Okay, here's some, like, awards, I guess. What are these? Fighting Game of the Year. From what thing is this? I don't know what this is, but it won Fighting Game of the Year, apparently. I don't know what this is, like a Twitch heart or something? Please do not touch. Okay, then. Mortal Kombat, excellence in subtitles and audio description. Oh, okay, so it's not like for fighting game or anything, it's just like, oh, accessibility. Best fighting game, 2004. Okay, so this is when, I think, Deception came out, maybe? It's like a monkey with a crown. Never seen this one before. Of course, you've got the YouTube play button, that's cool. So that must be for the official Mortal Kombat YouTube channel. Really nice. Reader's Choice Awards. Right,
It
let's
was,
continue.
is, and always will be a fighting game for everyone.
It's funny to think that it all started from like 4 guys in Chicago that just wanted to make a cool martial arts game.
And those people.
But yeah, that's kind of cool that you can just like look at stuff like that. The Golden Age, founded in Chicago in 1943. Williams Manufacturing Company created pinball and other amusement machines. Its Williams Electronics division helped usher in the golden age of arcade video games with titles like Defender in 1981, with Joust and Robotron 2084 arriving the following year. So yeah, Williams played a big part in, like, you know, getting the Mortal Kombat games out there to the arcades. So it's interesting to, like, show, like, the beginning of that company before they even started doing Mortal Kombat games. That's really cool. They're going that in depth with, like, the history of the MK franchise. Ed Boon, Chicago native Ed Boon, joined Williams fresh out of college in 1986. That was the year I was born, by the way. Yes, I'm old. Starting his career as a pinball programmer alongside some legitimate coin-op legends.
My parents were both born in Dominican Republic, and they had they were both doctors. I'm one of 5 kids. My older brother and older sister were born in Dominican Republic, and I was the first one born in Chicago, in Rogers Park, Chicago. And my brother and sister followed, Mike Boone, who I've been working with for 20-something years now.
So we spent a lot of time playing computer games. We had the old consoles. We had a Bally Astrocade.
The Bally Astrocade was a
I've
video
never
game
heard of
system
this.
that had a cartridge that was basic
No shit.
programming.
And, you know, you have the little plastic overlay you put over the keyboard, and you could type in basic programs, and we would write little games.
And
Wow,
that
that
was
was
my
that was
first
kind of cool
exposure
to think that that existed back then.
What a computer program is, the idea of creating something digitally by yourself, moving a pixel on the screen and whatnot. It just kind of taps into your brain of, oh, I have control over this, and that's probably where I really got hooked on the idea of being able to control things on a TV. All of my friends already had jobs waiting for them getting out of school, and I didn't. I made one resume my entire life. I had one resume, and at the very bottom I had a little asterisk that said, strong interest in video games. I got a call from a headhunter saying, are you interested in working at Williams Electronics? And at the time I knew exactly what Williams Electronics was. They were Defender, Stargate, Robotron, Joust, Sinistar, Moon Patrol. You know, there was
Oh, they did
100
Sinistar
games
as
that
well?
I was aware of that they worked on. I knew the people.
Those were exciting days of meeting your idols. Oh, there's you.
I just want to pause to say, imagine a timeline where he didn't write that at the bottom of his fucking resume. Like, where would we be today? We'd probably not fucking have Mortal Kombat, to be honest with you. And if we did on some level, it probably wouldn't be to where it was in this day and age. It's like, it's kind of scary to think about that.
Gene Jarvis, there's Sal DeVita, Mark Trammell, Warren Davis. You're working alongside people that created the games that you grew up with.
I went there thinking that I was.
I hope none of this like
interviewing
documentary stuff
for
gets
a
copyright
programmer's
claimed. I think
job,
it's
a
fine
video
because
game
it's like
programming
part of a
job.
game.
And they were
But
like,
we'll,
no,
we'll,
this is
we'll
for,
see when I
for
upload this
pinball.
later.
Are you still interested? And I said, yeah, absolutely. And there was a
Sorry,
part
I
of my
find this
brain
stuff
behind me
fascinating.
that was like, you know, eventually I'd like to get into video games, but it sounds like a fun job nonetheless. My first pinball machine was a game called Millionaire. That was kind of like how I got my foot in the door. I was just learning how to, you know, turn on lamps and flash bulbs and do special effects and whatnot. Eugene Jarvis was working down the hall from me on a game called F-14 Tomcat. He was working on a pinball machine, and Eugene asked me if I could do, special effects for that game. It had some really cool light effects, and so everybody started asking me to do special effects for their games. I became the special effects guy.
I met Ed Boon the day he arrived at Williams. He was a really nice guy, young and naive.
This guy's got some
and,
crazy hair.
Smart as hell, and
Kind of like
we had a
Doc
great
Brown
time
hair.
working on Black Knight with Larry Tomorrow.
Eugene had gone full-time into working on NARC. And again, this wasn't just a video game. This was
I
a
didn't know
whole
that was by
operating
Williams
system
either.
and
I'm learning so much
hardware.
today. I see
He
Smash
eventually
TV on
gave
the
me
right, that's cool.
A hardware system in my office while I was programming pinballs, and then on the side I would just be like making packets of dollar signs exploding that they were using in NARC when you would drop money and whatnot. And so I was just messing around with that and was really getting excited about the notion of working on video games. And at some point there was an understanding that when I was done with Black Knight, I would join the video game department to work on high impact football with Eugene in about 1990, I would guess.
Alright, that was pretty cool. I like that. I'm going to jump back into that video real quick because I want to check
parents
what the Y button
both,
does. Oh, that
born
turns
in
on
Dominican
subtitles. Okay,
Republic.
maybe I should keep that
And-
on then. So I was kind of wondering if subtitles were even an option, but yeah, it seems like they are. Rivals join forces. To the surprise of many in the arcade industry, Bally Manufacturing decided to sell its games division in 1987. In July the following year, its longtime rival Williams officially acquired both the Bally Pinball and Midway video game divisions for $8 billion, creating Williams/Bally/Midway. Okay, so that's where the Midway thing comes in. Yeah, because once that happens, I think Midway took all of the IPs and consolidated them all under that one banner. So when you get those Midway collections somewhere in the 90s or early 2000s, you would get all the Williams games in it, kind of like Sinistar and whatnot. Wait, why is this one? Oh, there's something down here, okay. One of Ed Boon's first pinball assignments was helping Eugene Jarvis with code for the F-14 Tomcat game designed by Steve Ritchie. Ed would later work on Space Station, Black Knight 2000, Taxi, and many other pins. He also provided the voice of Rudy, the wisecracking ventriloquist dummy in 1990's Funhouse. Interesting. After getting his MBA from Stanford, Defender designer Eugene Jarvis returned to Williams to head up his video game division. His first project, an anti-drug action game called NARC, leveraged Warren Davis's digitized videotech, isolating frames from low-quality VHS videotapes to create character sprites. So this is where it all began. I thought Pit Fighter was the first game to do that technique, but apparently it was NARC. Speaking of Pit Fighter, I can see that coming up there on the list. But yeah, there's the NARC arcade cabinet. I've never played NARC before, but I know what it's about. It was basically their response to the whole, government, panic of, the whole drug epidemic back in the 90s. All those drug PSAs telling kids not to do drugs and, the whole arcade thing where, winners don't do drugs and all that. This is basically Williams Midway, taking it to the most extreme conclusion where it's okay, you want an anti-drug PSA? We'll give you an anti-drug PSA. We're just gonna fucking shoot all these people up that are dealing drugs. There you go, there's your anti-drug PSA. Which is really fucking funny to me that they went that route, but yeah, that was why they did that, I think. No one had the guts until now. With a digitized portrait dominating the front Williams promotion flyer called the NARC, the kind of breathtaking game that's going to dramatically change video. I can't read. It certainly did, thanks to its sensational digitized graphics. Yep, it's just some more promotional material here. I like how in-depth they're going with this, like, just giving you, like, all the promotional material that was tied to it as well. I'll do a couple more things on this, and then we'll come back to this another time. I don't know if I'll do all this stuff on stream, but I'll see how much of it I can get done. I am going to be moving on to the next game in, like, the next 5-10 minutes anyway, but it's fun to, like, dive into this stuff. I hope this isn't, like, boring for you guys. Like, it's fascinating to me, but I could understand if this is, like, kind of a lull in the stream for you guys. Right, so 1988, video games get real. Early video game graphics offered abstract expressions of real-world objects or simple sprites of cute characters. Replacing those sprites with real-world objects or humans was a leap It was a leap many at Williams were eager to take, so I kind of tripped on that wording there. But yeah, here's the video.
Ashes of the video crash were still smoking a little bit. The whole industry, both console and arcade and everything, we've been rehashing the same simple, character-based games. And as far as character art, at this era, the Japanese were really dominating things. And they had just amazing artists, and we really didn't have that resource in the U.S. And so it was, how do we compete? I was like thinking, well, why does everything have to be some kind of fantasy or, men in tights or little cute characters running around the screen?
Oh, Crystal Castles. I know
Why
that
can't
game.
we get Dirty Harry for the arcade? It's like, and by doing live action, we don't need all these animators. Technology was moving and digitization was starting to happen. So NARC was kind of born out of that.
There it is. Say no to drugs. Yeah, there you go. Anti-drug PSA as a video game.
We were envisioning what is the next step. The idea of doing digitized imagery. Well, one thing is it would require more than 16 colors. The next step in our hardware design, we knew back in like 86, maybe 87, was going to be 256 colors.
Pixel art is great, but Warren's tools made it possible for us to capture video and then edit that video in a way where we could select the frames very easily.
Eugene wrote the operating system. I wrote the display system.
It was very early, and there was only a few boards that would do this, and they were very, touchy, and there was no tools, there was no Photoshop, there was no Maya. So Warren was really
these were the dark ages.
That pipeline.
We couldn't grab real time off of a videotape, but we could videotape whatever we wanted and then still frame and grab individual frames. We've got the actual image, which is thousands of colors that an Amiga can generate. But then how do we turn that into 256? So I started exploring these algorithms to quantize or reduce colors from thousands to the best palette of 256 colors.
And there was always big problems with noise and getting washed out images, and the color was crappy, and
there's all sorts of tear and jitter and blur because VHS is terrible quality. But that's what we had at the start.
The development of the studio and the techniques that we utilized came from those guys. Folks like Warren Davis or Mark Lafredo. These are the guys working on the hardware and the software that we worked on. It's like, if you think about me at the time, I was like, 20, 21 years old. And so I was literally just inheriting all this work that had been done before me. And I mean, I think we all like to talk and fantasize about this garage development mentality and stuff, but really,
kind of cool they're showing some of the original tapes there.
There were tools and things that were happening behind the scenes that we benefited from.
Again, Eugene Jarvis with like his just kind of overall direction and focus. A guy named Todd Allen who literally wrote a debugger. To this day, I'm just amazed at everything that he's done. And Warren, he made it possible. Like, if Warren didn't do what he did, I don't know if we would have been able to have done Mortal Kombat.
And Warren was always around, so that whenever we wanted anything else, a request came up, we just went over his office and talked to him, and to be like, yeah, okay, give me a day, I'll have that for tomorrow. And it's like, tomorrow, okay, great.
Besides being an amazing programmer and creating Qbert and working alongside of him and just being like friends with this idol of yours was just really overwhelming. He's one of my favorite people in the world.
I don't go around talking to people about what I did for Mortal Kombat. I don't talk about what I did in general. I have to say, there's a lot of people in my life, they didn't know about Qbert until they've known me for like 5 or more years. And then they would be like, wait a minute, you made Qbert? So I'm like, well, it never came up in conversation. I just don't, I don't dwell on it. Although I do have to say, I am very proud of my contribution to Mortal Kombat. A lot of people talk about digitized graphics, but it's like they just existed. It's like they just came out of nowhere. No, you know, people don't think that they came from somebody or from somewhere.
Yeah, I didn't know the guy behind Qbert was involved in the development of Mortal Kombat. Again, I'm learning more as I'm looking at this. So I'm not going to read all this out loud, I'm just kind of like skimming it a little bit. But yeah, just a couple little tidbits there. Right, so here's Pit Fighter. This is kind of like the proto Mortal Kombat. This is where they took the whole digitization thing and then tried to make a somewhat of a fighting game, but not like a proper fighting game. Like, they didn't quite figure that out until MK came around. There is some blood in there, okay. High Impact Football. Ed Boon's first video programming project was the 4-player football game High Impact, designed by Eugene Jarvis. High Impact Football promised the energy and strategy of a non-stop highlight film, thanks to its digitized player graphics. I've never heard of this game. But yeah, there's some of the digitization right there. I didn't know about this one at all, so kinda cool, I guess. Joe Sixpack, okay. Manic Max. Right, we'll do one more video and then I'm going to move on to the next game. So, again, sorry if you guys are getting a bit bored by this. Like, this is more so just something for me to enjoy, but if you enjoy it too, then that's great. Right, John Tobias, one of the greats. Just as Ed Boon was making the jump from pinball to video, a new team member was joining midway. From Chicago street artist to art student to comic book freelancer, John Tobias brought a wealth of diverse art skills with him.
I was born and raised in Chicago. I grew up on the city's near west side, which was, I was maybe 1.5 miles away from the United Center. It was a fairly rough neighborhood. But from my earliest days, I started, drawing, probably started with a crayon or something, and found myself inspired by cartoons. Anything I saw on TV, I remember Popeye was a big thing that I watched a lot. Seeing Bruce Lee on the Batman television series was a big thing for me. I didn't know who he was, and this was when I discovered, oh, he's this thing called a martial artist. That was the birth of my Kung Fu consciousness. Whenever I watched a TV show that excited me or saw a movie that excited me, the first thing I did was draw a picture and try to retell those stories as comic books. For some reason, the most difficult thing for me was to find stuff to draw on. Paper was at a premium, so whenever I could get paper, I would draw on it. I would draw on the backs of things. I'd draw on magazines, whatever I had. Paper seemed to be expensive. Growing up in the city, graffiti art was a big thing that was happening at the time, especially in the early 80s. A lot of the time, we would do stuff, on the sneak. And then I think we discovered after a while, if you just knock on a door and ask, a lot of the times they'll let you paint a mural on the side of their business or whatever it was. And so we did a lot of murals in the mid-late 80s. But I was a huge comic book reader, both DC and Marvel, and found a lot of inspiration from the comic book artists who were popular at the time. And so, of course, it was my dream to illustrate comic books, and eventually actually got a job doing it, and used that money to kind of pay my way through school. Most of the work I did was for a comic book called The Real Ghostbusters, based on the cartoon that was out at the time. I was still at the American Academy of Art, so I was still in college.
Sorry for my lack of commentary. I don't want to talk too much over this,
When a friend of mine who I met at the American Academy of Art named John Vogel got a job at Williams Electronics.
Don't worry, guys. We'll do some Pokemon after this.
Video games.
He
Just
had
hang
gotten
in
a
there.
job at Now Comics, and he wanted me to help him with real Ghostbusters. And I was like, sure. So he got me an interview at Now Comics. Then once I got my job at Williams Valley Midway, you know, Mark Trammell now needs an artist. Who can we get to work with him? And I'm like, I know a guy that's doing the Ghostbusters comic book, you know.
And John called me up and said that they were
I didn't
looking
know the
for
real
another
Ghostbusters
artist.
had a
When I
comic
was
book.
hired at Williams, it was to work on Smash TV. And so I interviewed with Mark, I interviewed with Eugene Jarvis.
Amazing guy, amazing artist. Working on Smash TV, he came up with this animation that the character, as he exploded, the eyeball came up right facing you in the face. And basically he had to, 3D rotate all this stuff. Like the man was a human 3D rendering system. The guy's a genius.
So Smash TV was a lot of fun to work on, a lot of hand-drawn pixel sprites, very small graphics in terms of the character.
One of
art
these
that I was
days I'm gonna have to
creating.
play Smash
I know
TV.
that
This
in the
game
back
looks
of
fun.
My mind, I still wanted to do comic book art, but I fell in love with video games and the folks that I worked with at Williams, and I knew right away that, hey, this is the place for me.
Ah, yeah, so this just expands on the whole, like, doing graffiti and stuff. So we get some actual photographs here. That's cool. Came from Jay's garage. Okay. Is that Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? I don't know what this is, but it looks cool. Alright, I believe that's everything. By the way, chat, we're still in chapter 1 of this, and there's like, I think 5 or 6 chapters. We're not even halfway through chapter 1, but there is so much content here. So, with me playing through the collection, I don't know if we will be able to get through all the video content here. I might like dial this back and just like check this out in my own time, because I know this just easily eats up a lot of time. Like, for me personally, this is fascinating content that I love diving into. But I realise that this might not be for everyone, especially people watching me play a video game, so I think I will mostly keep this aspect of the game to myself, but I will check out some of the other like bonus content that might not take up as much time. But yeah, we got that, and we got like another 4 chapters after that, so this is basically the inception of Mortal Kombat. This is when Mortal Kombat released and like the whole thing like taking off and being like this big crazy phenomenon. And then this is like talking about like the sequel, like preparing for that. And then this is like the beginning of like making a movie. And then I guess this is like the relative future of Mortal Kombat at the time. That's cool. Right, well I think this is a good place to stop for now. Again, I've got another game to play after this, so next time I play this, I'll do Mortal Kombat 3, I'll do the arcade version, and then I will show you briefly the other versions of Mortal Kombat 3. And then maybe we'll do some behind-the-scenes stuff, not as much, but we'll check out some of the behind-the-scenes stuff. There might be a couple cool things in there we can look at. But for the most part, it's just going to be playing the games on stream. I think that's how I'm going to be doing this going forward. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Mortal Kombat 3, next time I play this.